Hello farmers, welcome back to No Man's Land, welcome to the month of August, and welcome to the farm, 8 more sheep. Yeah, our sheep have reproduced, we're up to 16. In about 4 more months, we should have another 8 more sheep, it looks like. Also looks like we got a full pallet of wool over here, and now we're starting on a second pallet already. So that production is coming along rather nicely, and I will say, as the deer are eating our grass over there, get out of my grass field. I need that for the sheep. Skedaddle, you got grass everywhere else. I did go ahead and named the 2 stores that we put down the other day. Let me go on in here and I'll show you what I did with them. Yeah, so the fabric store I named Tight Knit. Why not? And the clothing store, the tailor shop, I named So What. I don't know. That's what we're going with. But those will be ready to go. Actually, like I said, I couldn't bring that wool over. What is the recipe for wool? For every 60... Okay, so I'm only going to get like 50, not 50, sorry, 500 liters of fabric. So that's not even, I don't even know what a full pallet is. A full pallet could be 500 liters. I'm not too sure. But we'll wait until the cotton harvest is ready. I don't want to bring over just 1,000 liters, turn it on just for about a minute, and leave it be. But the chore for today is our sorghum is ready to be harvested. I got the harvester out here. I got the Fendt Vario 1000 out here with a plow on it. T6 has the 12,000 liter trailer ready to rock and roll. The only issue we may have here today is I may have to run on, well, I'm going to have to run. I'll have to drive the combine on down to the store and fill up with some diesel. I don't know if I got enough diesel in here to do the job that we got for today, but if we get close to where we need to stop and get some diesel. Yeah, I'm down to just a little bit under half. So let's go ahead and let's just get right to work. And once I get done harvesting this field, Frank will hop into the Fendt Vario 1000 and we'll start plowing up the fields. Now, technically, even though it looks like we're getting chopped straw out the back, we are technically not. So the chopped straw mod that we have active, I should not get any fertilization from this at all. But that's fine. Eventually, we're going to come down to this anyways. And we'll just have to buy ourselves a fertilizer spreader and take care of the fields that way. Which we're going to have to do, like I said, at some point, because any fields I had cereal crop in, I definitely want the straw for the cows that we might have, well, maybe by this time next year, or maybe sooner. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, this sorghum is going to go right into storage, right into our silo. It's not going on down to milling it over to make flour. This will just go right into storage for our chickens, just in case. Oh, I need to feed the chickens. Now I just thought about it. So after I get my first load of sorghum and we dump it into the silo, I'll top off with some barley and dump it on there. Dump it on in there. I want to feed the chickens the barley first and leave the sorghum for later, because I actually get more flour from the sorghum than I do the barley. You know, probably doesn't matter overall in a way, because you harvest more barley than sorghum. That's why you probably get more flour for the sorghum than you do the barley. So it probably all works out to be the same. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but it sounds good, doesn't it? That's the way we're gonna leave it right there. So yeah, as for today, the only thing we're doing is harvesting these 3 fields, and then Frank is going to follow us around with the Fendt. And he'll be going ahead and plowing in the fields, getting rid of all these stalks from the sorghum, and of course leaving rocks behind, which eventually we will lease the... Actually, I may have to lease that twice now I think about it, because I want to plant wheat or barley again for the chickens for next season. And I got to plant that pretty darn soon. I want to double check here in a second now. When do we actually plant? I still haven't got the planting down in my head. Wheat and barley need to be planted in September and October. So I may wait until October to plant, because if I can harvest the cotton in October, I want to be able to plow the fields, and then that way I'll have to pick up the rocks all in the month of October, then replant these fields. It could be rather busy in the month of October when it comes around, but I got a funny feeling cotton's not going to be ready until November. Oh, decisions. Unless the stone picker comes up for sale before then we'll just go ahead and buy it and not have to worry about leasing it twice. Or maybe I should just buy it outright at this point. I got the cash for it. I actually got the cash for it for a change. It won't be today. Maybe in the month of September. I'll have to think about that a little bit, what I want to do. And who knows? Like I said, maybe it'll come up for sale by then. I got a little time before these fields need to be replanted anyways. But anyways, back to what we need to really do today. Also, I think I might want to sell the tomatoes as well. We're getting pretty full on tomatoes, so we'll go ahead and sell those. The eggs, I'm going to hold off on the eggs. Like I said, I think it's November where that price peaks. The silage is almost fully fermented, but the price is just absolutely terrible. So I don't even want to think about selling the silage either. Also, on a couple of comments that were made in the past few videos as well, I keep getting asked why I should be able to take care of the stumps with a chainsaw. You can. That is a mod that you need to have, and I don't have the mod, and I don't plan on using it. I know I've mentioned this a couple times, but that's one thing. That's one thing I just don't want to do, is use a chainsaw to get rid of the stumps. That's one thing you shouldn't be doing in real life. I mean, the dirt that you'll just be kicking up with a chainsaw, it ruins your blade or your chain really, really quick on a chainsaw. I speak from experience. I've used my chainsaw more than enough to know that's one thing you don't do. The minute you get the chain in the dirt, yeah, that chain goes dull really, really quick. So, yeah, I just won't be doing that. It's not that much to lease the tree stump grinder anyways. Well, I'm just about full. Wasn't paying attention. Yeah, that's one thing I won't be doing. I do need to lease the tree stump grinder again and again and again. I may buy it when the money comes about. And I don't want to run over it. Just near the end of the headland there. Just about had it. I can't wait to get this field done. I want to see Frank and the Fenton Vario 1000 plowing this field. I mean, definitely he's not going to have a problem with it, but I just want to see how it gets along. And it'd be nice to see some work being done around here that I'm not actually doing. I can kind of like kick back and watch him do all the work. For a little while, anyways. That is an interesting color for sorghum. I do believe as well that there are different types of sorghum, but at least in Farming Simulator, we just have the, I don't know if this is the generic one or not. But I think there's different colors of sorghum that they can actually plant. So something I need to put down on the farm here as well, I think, would be a diesel tank. That would be kind of nice to have around here on the farm, rather than having to keep running down to the store and top off there. But I don't know where I want to put it just yet. I just thought about it before I started recording. I didn't realize that my combine harvester was that low on diesel. So, yeah, it would be a good thing to have a tank around here, I suppose. Actually, I don't even know how much those even go for. Although I don't want to get, just because I got money right now, I just want to keep on spending it. Just got to keep in mind that I need about maybe 30, maybe 35,000 for the cotton harvest that's coming up here very shortly. I'm excited to get our fabric stores up and running, fabric and tailor shops. So we can go ahead and make clothes and sell all the clothes in the springtime for $10,000 per 1,000 liters. I really don't know how much we're going to get on the clothes. Oh, that's the other thing I want to look at. I want to see the recipe for the tailor shop to see exactly how much fabric is required to make some clothing. So I can kind of get an idea when I'm harvesting as we're going along the cotton. Like, okay, this is going to be a pretty darn good yield. Just got to keep in mind as well, when next season comes, hopefully when we sell the clothing, we get over $200,000 worth of clothing, because it's gonna cost us, I think it was what, $225,000 to do this whole cotton thing. So if I get that much money back, then everything paid for itself. And then next time I do it, the shop's already there, and then we really start making the cash. But as we can see, for some reason, I don't know, when I was on Elm Creek, and we had the sheep on Elm Creek, it didn't seem like they were producing wool hardly at all. And now that we got mature sheep, I think I had mature sheep on Elm Creek, it seemed like that pallet filled up much faster, as it should, according to Giants. I saw that, I forgot where I saw it, but it was kind of showing when they're young, they don't produce as much wool. When from 1 to 2 years old, they produce a good amount of wool, and I guess once they get over 2 years old, they produce a decent amount of wool. Now, I know some people have done tests out there, and they said that certain sheep actually produce more wool than others. I haven't done the test. I really haven't looked up too much into it, just from what you guys are saying. Apparently, it's the black Welsh sheep, apparently, mountain sheep, that produce more wool than others. I don't know. But then again, I heard the same thing about the chickens, that older chickens need more food or something of that matter. Maybe they do. I haven't seen much difference. This combine, compared to the Roslamash that we use, this combine is making quick work of these fields. With the Roslamash, we just had a 5 meter wide. I think this is 25. Is this 25? Is this a 25 foot header? So that'd make it like 8.5 meters wide. Definitely making the work in the fields that much quicker. So nothing new in the store for sale today. Well, there is stuff there that's new, but nothing of interest. So we're just bypassing it. I do got some priorities ahead of other things. Like I mentioned, the fertilizer spreader would be one. The stone picker would be another one. Then everything else, if it came up, I would look at it like, okay, I need it, but not currently. So, you know, how bad? I mean, is the price really that good? Like the 1000 sitting over there. I was not expecting something like that coming up, but then the deal was so good, can't pass up on that. Although I do think, I wonder if it's still up for sale. Hang on a second. There was an AR, yeah, the AR series, 177,000 if I click on it. So it's, I don't want to say only, 326 horsepower. If this was for sale, I would have bought that before the 1000. 326 horsepower, but it's 177,000. Same thing, no PTO shaft in the front either. So that John Deere is actually like 20 grand more than that 1000 over there that we paid for. But our 1000 has a couple more, almost a couple hundred more horsepower than the 8R. But then again, that was like 50, I think the 1000 was 54% off. And the John Deere's not quite that much. But as of at the end of the last episode, when I was kind of looking at the map just a little bit, now that I'm starting to get a lot of the production buildings, well, not a lot, we're not even quite, I don't think we're even halfway there. But now that I'm starting to get more things placed down, I should say, I can picture in my mind where a lot of the other stuff is going to go on the map. So I think I know where I want to put like the canola, sunflower fields, and when I do that, we'll be putting down some beehives. I know you guys want to see some beehives, so I'm kind of waiting for that production line to come along, which could be a little bit longer. I definitely want to get the cows up and going. Every time I do Farming Simulator and I start a map, the first thing I start thinking of is, where's the cow barn going to go? I always got to have a cow barn. Although I will say, doing the Griffin, Indiana series got me a little bit tired of cows for a little while. As long as we just got a little bit amount of cows on a map, I'm pretty sure I can handle that. Alright, now that's at top of my mind, let's go dump off this sorghum into the silo and then top off the chickens, because the chickens are just about empty on their feed trough. So we don't have to transport grain too far today. Now if I go in this field, it doesn't do crop destruction on those. That is interesting that it doesn't do crop destruction on the harvested stalks. But if I bet you if I went to the field before it was harvested, I would destroy them. So it's just kind of weird that it does that. I think when we harvest the cotton, after I harvest it and I go in the field, I will destroy the cotton stalks. We'll find that out in October/November, whenever it is. Alright, let's top off with some barley. How much barley do I got left? Are we down to almost like 20... Might be right at 30,000 actually. 32,000. Yeah, so that's not enough to get me to next year. So the sorghum is definitely going to come in handy. Probably midwinter, actually. Now, even though, like when you harvest, I think you get more wheat than barley in a field. You would get more barley than sorghum. So when I put barley or wheat or sorghum, do the animals eat it at different rates? Because if so, that's why I want to put the barley in first. Because I definitely was going to get more barley off a field than I would sorghum. But if the animals consume 10,000 liters at the same rate, doesn't matter which food I put in there, that will make a difference. All right. So did I finish that field? I think I did. Yeah, looks like it's all finished. Probably should have left the combine running because of the fuel issue that we got going here. I'll leave the T6 running and the combine running. Yeah, I think we're all set here. Yeah, we're all harvested. All right, Frank. Now Frank is expensive. He charges quite a bit an hour. But you know what? It's going to be nice to get some work done around here that I'm not actually doing. Hopefully I can remember how to do course play. Okay, so I go into here. We go into hired work areas. We want to create a job. And then I got to come up here and make sure it says CP field work for course play field work. Nearest, no, let's do this. Let's zoom in. You start like right about here. And you kind of go, yeah, you just kind of go in that direction. And then why can't I create a job here, or create a course? Oh, I got to come in here. That's right. So this should be all set. Overlap, that's fine. We'll do some overlapping. I think we'll just leave everything the way it is and generate course. And then close that. First waypoint. Where are you starting? You're starting... Why are you starting over there for? Didn't I have you starting over here? No. Why is course play... All right, let me try this again. I'm just keeping a close eye on Frank to make sure he doesn't go into my cotton field, because that would not be... All right, okay, so it's not Frank today. It looks like it's Mrs. Frank is in there. Now, I had quartz play starting in that side over there, but apparently they want to start on this side over here. All right, we'll just let them be. We'll see how Frank gets along, I guess. Or, sorry, Mrs. Frank. All right, let's get the T6 up here over by the other fields. Hopefully you don't have any problem with trees over there. And we're just going to park the T6 like in the middle of these two fields here. And let us get back to work. So I'll mention again, because I do get asked all the time, why do you plow your fields every time? We don't actually need to. We're doing it for two reasons, and two reasons only right now. One, I need the stones so I can make some lime. And then the other thing it does for us is by plowing the field, it stops the weeds for another year. So that's the main reason why we plow the fields. The only time you need to plow the fields after harvest is like we do root crop harvesting or corn. Those are crops you definitely need to plow. Well, you don't have to plow, but you should, because you lose a lot of yield if you don't. So corn, sugar beet, potatoes. Those are the ones I truly know that you definitely got to plow. Is cotton one that you have to plow afterwards that requires it? I don't think so. Yeah, sorry, just a deep thought there. I know I'm missing a crop somewhere. I think there's 4 crops that you have to. Maybe it's sugar cane? But I'm not too sure, because like I've said before, I have not done sugar cane ever. I watched a couple people do it on YouTube, and I was like, nah, I don't think that's quite for me. It's kind of like the same thing with the wood chips and planting poplar. I did poplar once in 17 on Goldcrest Valley. I'm trying to remember the name of the... Yeah, it must have been Goldcrest Valley on a small field. And yeah, and I saw the price of wood chips. I'm like, okay, this is not, wasn't worth it. Now, if you're doing it constantly, doing poplar and doing wood chips, you know, may pay for itself if you own the equipment. But if you're leasing it and doing a small field, same thing like cotton. If I was just doing that, like that field that Mrs. Frank is plowing right now, and did that one field of cotton, and I had to lease the cotton module harvester, I would lose money doing that job right there. Definitely would not pay for itself. I wonder if I'll get a stage of fertilization. Am I getting a stage of fertilization from plowing in the stubble of the sorghum? Need to be here. Needs rolling. So I don't get no stage of fertilization from plowing in the sorghum stalks. All right. I mean, it is what it is. It's not that big of a deal, but I was just kind of curious there. It's kind of weird how the game works out some things like that. Like, I don't understand. I know I said it a few times, but I don't understand, like, when we cut grass, why is it when you cut grass you get a stage of fertilization? I mean, you're taking away nutrients of the grass. You're cutting the grass. It's not like you're leaving the grass there to decompose and give nutrients back in the ground. You're cutting the grass and turning it into hay or picking up as grass and taking it off the field. But you get a stage of fertilization from it. I don't understand. I'm thinking I should be able to get the harvest done up here and not require any diesel. I think we should be okay. Although I have gone through a good amount of diesel already. The whole time while I'm here harvesting this field, I just got to keep my eye on Mrs. Frank, just because we've seen Frank do some weird stuff, and maybe Frank taught her how to do some work. I don't know. But I'll be a very upset farmer if I find her over in the cotton field plowing that. I almost shut off the combine, but you gotta remember, you gotta keep it running now in Farming Simulator 22, or else it will not dispense the crop out of the combine into the trailer. For those of you new to Farming Simulator, in previous versions like 19 and before, you could turn the combine off and it would still, the auger would still kind of run and dispense into the trailer, but not anymore. Just keep turning around, Mrs. Frank. Don't go into my cotton field, please. I get very nervous. It's a lot of cash sitting out there. So while this is unloading, I'm going to go in to So What and see what the recipe is for fabric into clothing. I know I looked at it when I was on Elm Creek, but I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, wow. So basically 90 fabric into... No, okay, so it's going to be 1/4. So for every 1,000 liters of... I was looking at wool. Yeah, so let's look at wool. So for every 1,000 liters of wool I bring in, I'll get 250 liters of clothing. Cotton is a little bit better, but not a whole lot better. It's kind of an odd number there. But let's just say for every 1,000 liters of cotton I'm going to bring in, I'm probably going to get like 350? Probably, somewhere around there. So I think every 3,000 liters will give me 1,000 liters of clothing from cotton. I'm trying to do a lot of math in my head right now, and I should be doing it because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I should be trying to do some math. I'm trying to figure out in my head, because I want to get about $200,000 worth of clothing. How many liters of cotton am I going to need to get that far? And my brain's just locking up on me. I'm thinking 60,000 liters. That just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. I don't know. I better stop doing math because I don't think I'm even close to what I should be. Alright, let's get back to harvesting the sorghum. And hopefully, I don't have to make a run on down to the store to top it off with some diesel. If I do, I'm going to drop off the header. That way I'm not causing any problems. I know there's no traffic on the map, but we'll kind of pretend that there is at some point. I mean, I possibly could do some traffic on here. I did that on Green Mountain Forest in 19, which was a forestry map that had no roads. And I made my own roads there and used horseplay and used cars to kind of drive around. But that was a hassle. Every time I started up the game, I had to get the cars lined up where they need to be and run the course. It actually worked pretty well for the most part. So it might be something I do here in the future. Have to wait and see. But I got to get more of a road network around here in No Man's Land.
Boy, it's been a while since we talked, and my head's getting nervous. I can't handle this on and off. I can't, no. I just gotta know where you are if I want to remain sane. but you're ghosting every text and call. Oh no, you could be running off with somebody else. Ooh, boy, I ask myself, yeah. Wait, maybe you're just off doing what you said. Ooh, think I've lost myself. Tell me what's the hold up, baby. Tell me why your phone's off lately. I don't wanna go all crazy, but I think I'm losing it. Tell me where your heart is these days. Are you being honest with me? I don't wanna go this cray-cray, but I think I'm losing it bad. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm losing it bad. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm losing it. I think I'm losing it bad. I've been staring at my phone too long. Feel my eyes getting tired.
Well, I wasn't expecting to get all these fields done before she got done plowing the first field, but that's fine. I was taking a couple peeks over there to make sure she was still in the field that she was supposed to be in and not over in the cotton field doing some weird stuff. But so far, looks like she's doing a fantastic job over there. That's the only field she'll be working in today. I'll be doing the rest of the fields afterwards. She is just about done. And so am I. It looks like I got enough diesel to go ahead and complete this job here today. So I'm actually going to leave the combine running while I run with the T6 over and dump this into the silo. And this is where I was talking about before, having a second tractor comes in handy, because I got the T6 on the trailer. I can run this back and forth. I don't have to keep dropping off the trailer, re-hooking up the plow, doing everything that we need to do. I am seeing some rocks coming up there, which is good, because that's what we're looking for. Although some left some tree stumps over here. Might be a little while before I go ahead and cut down some more trees, because the sawmill should be functional for quite a while. And I really don't have anything to clear out for now. Although, where I originally was cutting the trees down for the cow barn over there in the sheep pasture, I'm thinking that's where a future house may go. And unfortunately, I will have to sell the cabin because you can only have one rest area on a map, and that is considered a rest area, sleep building. I don't know what you want to call it, but you can only have one on a map. So when I put down my other house, that house will have to go. I may put down a decorative house for the Franks to live in. She's going to finish that field before we get done with the harvest. That's one less field I have to plow afterwards. Although she is going to charge me, I think the first, at the top of the hour, it was like $500 and some odd already that I paid her. Now you can on course play, I think I showed it before, but in case you didn't know, if you go into your settings on course play, which is this little symbol right here, if you have course play and you come in, you can change your driver wages. I'm leaving it right at 100%, which is same as if you were to hire a worker in-game. So I'm leaving it right there. But if you wanted to, you could put that right on down to 0, and I think you can go up to, I think I saw 500%. I don't know who would want to pay their worker 500%, but either 200 or 500. Either way. But what I was going to say is if you don't want to pay your workers at all, you can put it right down to 0 and use course play all the time for all your workers and not get charged a penny. This was a good combine to go ahead and pick out to start our farm with. Working out really, really good. Although I got really spoiled with Griffin, Indiana, And having those combines, and those combines I used, which were modern ones, they held 120,000 liters of grain. So I'm trying to get used to filling up, paying attention, because these combines fill up a lot quicker. But now we should have enough feed for the chickens for another year. And I definitely want to make sure I plant, I guess we're going to go ahead and plant wheat for the chickens next season. But no crop is going to milling it over. So no flour, no bread next year to sell. And there we have it. Alright, so what we need to do is bring over the combine and the header to the workshop. Let me go ahead and fold this on up, and we want to make sure we repair this so it's all set to go next year. Looks like Mrs. Frank missed a couple spots. I should have done a couple headlands. At least one headland on that field. But the good news is I don't see where she went to the cotton field at all, which she shouldn't, but you never know with course play. Well, course play is usually pretty darn good, but a couple times it has done me wrong like that. And I wasn't watching the header, and I kind of went over the tire there. I wonder if the header is in the work zone. It is. So repair the header for $25. I can get down with that. And the combine's only 140. But then again, I really only used it. Oh, I got an achievement. Okay. I didn't really use it that much. I mean, we've had 2 harvest seasons, and I got just under 3 hours on it. Now, I will make sure that I take the header off when I get in here, because last season, if I leave the header on, the combine tends to walk backwards. Let's see, I need to put down the header. Right there should be good. I got to come out and take off the PTO shaft. The hoses, I don't have to. The manual attach system, sometimes it's a little quirky with some things. I don't know why I left that running. And I should have washed it off. Wait a minute, I can... Wait. Will that reach? Well, I'll reach the combine. Not sure it's going to reach the... It'll be deactivated in half a meter-ish. But I think I'm close enough to the header. Yep, the header is getting cleaner. Perfect. That works out rather well. Alright, let's just teleport to our T6. We'll go ahead and put this in the silo. Now, the only thing I want to see is on the 1000, using the plow, I hope it's not, I hope the 1000 is not getting the repair status as the T6 was, to where just by doing one job, I got it, it's down to like 75% already. Because that would just make the repair bills extremely ridiculous. We will see here in just a second. If I go into here, no wait, wrong page. If I go to here, no wait. I keep forgetting we can't see what we got for crop in there. I actually got to come to here. Oh wow, 46,000 liters of sorghum. That actually is a pretty darn good harvest. Now, I'm not going to bother washing off the trailer, because probably the next thing I might use it for is silage. So, not that... I'm not going to bother cleaning it for silage. So let's go ahead and do that. And that. You know, I'm going to leave the T6 right here. And it's worn down somewhat. Now let me go ahead and get rid of this course that's here. Clear current course. Let's delete that. Now before I go ahead and not repair, I want to see what the cost is to repair 1000. Now this is not, I mean the plow didn't require that much horsepower. The T6 had no problem with the horsepower requirement at all. But definitely the 1000 should have no problem whatsoever. Now I could, now that we got a big tractor here with a lot of horsepower, I could go ahead and get myself a bigger plow. So I do believe this is a 4 meter wide. But I think the next plow I would get, now I like the subsoilers / plows like this, just because it's easier to plow the fields for myself. I prefer it this way. So if we were going to go on the store page and we go to plows like right here, I don't want to call them angled plows, but you know what I'm trying to say there. Rather than just the straight ones across, it makes it a little bit easier. Let's go to subsoilers. Where are the subsoilers? There they are. So the next one that we could possibly get, let's see, that is 8 meters. That's 4 meters. This requires 435 horsepower. And we got that. What's the width of that one? That one's 6 meters, but also fertilizes as you plow. Kind of interesting concept, but it's a lot more expensive than the 8 meter wide one. So I'm used to using this one for sure. But it's not, you know, it's something that, I think I said this before, something that I want, but something that we don't really need. We got a lot of things that we need more than what we got. You got to do the things that you need first, then the things that you want. All right, I'm going to get this field done here, plow this field, and then I just want to go over and see what the repair status is of the 1000. It's looking like it's could be a little bit expensive. I kind of forgot we bought this beautiful 1000 and I have not given you a tour of the inside of the 1000 just yet. So I thought we'd do a little bit more plowing, but from the inside, hopefully I don't miss any spots. I should have all the mirrors on, right? Yeah, I have all the mirrors on. It's kind of weird. It's a lot quieter playing from inside the cab than outside. So it must have a lot of sound deadeners on the chassis of this thing. Or actually of all the tractors. I wonder if I used a modded tractor where the windows and doors open, if it would make it louder. I would assume it does. I haven't used one yet to find out. Put that little piece there. Now the good thing is about the rocks and getting some lime made and all that, with all the fields that we have, they're all limed except for the grass field being limed completely. And for what little yield I got from the grass, I may hold off onto that. Because who knows the way it's going, I may make more fields next season. So holding off the lime for a good crop field might be better for us. But hopefully, once everything gets going, we'll have a good stockpile of lime at some point. Maybe. Or maybe not. But lime's not too expensive. If I need to, we go down and buy it. Probably shouldn't be turning that sharp of a corner with the subsoiler still in the ground, but and one more pass, and that's the second field being done. Although I do got to go back and do the headlands of the other one because that little stuff will annoy me. Let me go ahead and lift the plow. Are any of these windows open? Or plow, create fields. Don't think so. Don't think the doors or windows open or closed on any of the base game tractors. Well, let's take a ride over to the workshop and see, just by plowing these two fields, what's the repair status on the 1000. I will say one thing, this 1000's got some get up and go. I was going to say $8 for repair? That's great. $820 already. So about an hour's worth of work, and I got to repair it for $1,000. And it's only going to get worse. The more hours up to 50 hours apparently. But once we get to 50 hours, yeah, it's going to wear down a little bit faster, Well, it is what it is. We'll get it repaired. Now, really, I probably should be using the 1000 to plow the fields just because, what is the requirement of this plow anyways? Actually, it's right here. 130 horsepower, so we got way too much horsepower for what we need. And basically, I'm just putting a lot of wear on a tractor that we don't need to, but it's the new tractor, so I want to use it. So I'm going to use it to go ahead and get this field plowed. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and plow that field in between episodes, and yeah, probably see you in the month of September. I have to fertilize the grass field because that might be ready for harvest. So we might be selling silage, and I don't know. Should I be doing something with the grass other than making silage right now? I think I can keep on making silage. We don't need to prep for the cows just yet. I'm a ways off ready for that. I think I got to wait until next spring and see how much money we get from the clothes that we make over the winter. And that money we get from the clothes will go into the equipment that we need for the cows. That's what I think we'll be doing. But the chickens should be happy. We got them feed for another year. They'll be darn happy. We got some rocks already ready to go. Got to pick those up at some point. But next episode, maybe do some grass cutting. Feels like I just did that, which I did. But yeah, we'll get some things done here. And yeah, I think that's all we have for today. But that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in No Man's Land. But until then, have a good one.